angels and devils and all who may wander here. It is Amanda Christina, and I have some budget crafting tips for you. This is a series I did. I have to find the other vlog. It's going to take me a little while, but other blog on my Heavenly Craft Musings, I think it's called, on WordPress. Anyway, I've pulled up one of them to share with you, which is tips for the budget crafter, for the really when you're struggling. And I know that, look, in America you have Dollar Tree, Michael's do grab bags, and you get lots of coupons and really amazing discounts. We just don't get that in Australia. So you have to sometimes be a little more inventive, and especially when you're building a stash originally. Some of this stuff means that if you have stamps, and especially if you go and get cheap stamps from AliExpress or cheap dies, these are things you can work with that. Anyway, so let's get started. Budget crafter essentials. So here are some of mine. Now this doesn't include things like dies and stamps and things like that. This is just a few things I've put down. Tissue paper in white. I usually get 5 to 10 sheets for $1 or $2. You can stamp on this, you can ink it, you can paint it, you can use it to create backgrounds, you can do a technique to create water. I'm not sure if I put that on here last year. I might do it again just in case, because it's a really cool technique. You can use it to add texture, to create pretty clothing. You can mist it, you can paint over it, you can stamp on it, you can gel medium over it, use it as backgrounds in collages. There is you can circle punch or die cut several layers, put a brad in the center and scrunch them up to make really cute tissue paper flowers. There is a lot you can do with tissue paper, so it is really handy to have in your stash. Food colouring. Now this isn't a normal one, and I'm aware of this, but I have a video which I've linked, which I'm pretty sure I've brought over to my channel, or I downloaded it and re-uploaded it on this channel. If not, I'll make sure I do that from my original channel, which I don't even know how to log into anymore. But basically, how to make your own mists. If you are on a super tight budget and you don't want to use reinkers, food colouring. Like in Australia, we don't get the powdered cordial stuff that you guys get. I don't know what you call it in America. Kool-Aid. It's called cordial here, but it comes in bottles and stuff. But food colouring, which you can get for 99 cents, not the gel stuff, just the regular stuff. There's about 5 different colours you can get at the supermarket. So that's $5 investment, under $5. If you mix it with some salt and some water, use pure water or filtered water if you can, because it stops your nozzles clogging. You can get cheap misting bottles off AliExpress and eBay, like crazy cheap, like 10 for a couple of dollars. And you can make up your own mists. That saves a fortune, and especially when you're starting out. Like I've still got a lot of homemade mists. If you've got the Perfect Pearls powder or the Pearl-X powders, you can mix some of that in to get the shimmer sprays. So there's so much you can do with that. Food colouring can be good for all sorts of things, so that's a really good one to have. Thin chipboard. Now this is one that you're going to go, well, you know, you don't buy chipboard. Just do not buy thin chipboard. Don't do it. You do not need to buy chipboard. Use the stuff that your cookies, your crackers, your cereal, all that kind of stuff comes in, because you can die cut that. It runs through die cutting machines fine. You can layer up several pieces if you want a thicker piece. It costs you nothing. Don't hoard it, like don't, because that's something I was looking around going, oh, I should do some of these things. I'm like, oh, I don't have anything chipboard, and I don't know. I do have a stash somewhere, I just don't know where it is. I sort of stopped hoarding it, but just, you know, if you need it, make sure you keep a few boxes around, because they come in so handy for so many things. You can use them to make journal covers, just, oh my gosh, so much. Plastic packaging. Now this is really cool, like especially plastic packaging when you get something and you have to cut it out of the packaging, because those pieces you can make your own stencils with. You can die cut them, you can alcohol ink over them, you can create clear shapes, you can use them for shaker pockets. You can use them in place of buying acetate for anything you might want to use acetate for. You can also use soft drink bottles and milk cartons if you want that sort of milky color. So you can recycle these things to use in your crafting. They cost you no extra because you've already got them in the house. You're already getting them like with your drinks, with your packaging. And honestly, I've used plastic packaging for paint palettes, to mix, to do distress watercolor, just so that when I've got something, like if I don't want to squish them onto my craft mat, easy to wipe off, easy to clean. They are so handy, so useful, worth keeping a little stockpile of, because, and when you don't have the money to buy stencils, but you've got, like if you're looking at what's more important to invest in, and you've got a die cutting machine, invest in dies, because you can turn every die into a stencil, into a mask, into a positive and negative stencil. Absolutely worth having to do that with, rather than having to buy stencil film, whatever. That is just the perfect way to have that. Old sheet music, old books. Go to your op shops, secondhand shops, thrift store, wherever in the world you are, wherever you call them. I'm Aussie. It's an op shop. St. Vincent de Paul is Vinnie's. The Salvation Army is the Sallies or Salvos. So, you know, that's Aussieisms for you. But these things usually sell for like under $1 or around $1 or $2. And you can get a whole book of sheet music for a couple of dollars. Sometimes it looks very old and worn, so you've already got that. But you can also coffee and tea dye. You can ink them, you can stain them, again, tear them up, use them as background. I have a Dory one I got for 99 cents off eBay that I use as background for my little Mickey pins that you get for free when you order Disney stuff from my Etsy store. Yeah, again, old books, from paperback books to coffee table books. You can use them to die cut, create pretty flowers, create funky embellishments, use the pages to create backgrounds. You can do so many crafts with like the regular novel type pages, from making paper butterflies, flowers. What else have I made from those? Just backgrounds for things. You can just, whatever you can do with paper, you can pretty much use book pages for. Coffee table books are really good mixed media journals. You can glue a few pages together. You could, like, depending on the thickness of the pages, you can gut them and turn them into to other types of journals, like junk journals, or whatever type of journal you're into, like travel journals, whatever. Like, there's so many possibilities you can do with that. Aluminium cans. Now, you have to be really careful when you're cutting up an aluminium can. You can use them to emboss and to die cut. They turn out really, really cool, and you can make some really nice funky metal embellishments, ornaments, all sorts of fun things. Textures, crayons, and chalks of the cheap variety. Now, we don't really talk about this because, like, we're also Copics, and I don't own a Copic, but I would love to own some. I own Copic Spickers, which are the glitter ones, but yeah. Nobody really talks about the cheap stuff. Here's the thing, cheap chalks can give you some really fun effects. Like if you're looking for a smoky effect on a black page, you can chalk. A white crayon gives you so many different resist techniques. Textures and pencils of the cheap variety can sometimes turn out to be quite good quality. So it just depends. It's worth trying things and seeing what you like. And it's also, if you've got kids and you're trying, try their cheap stuff and see if you like it. I know a lot of crafters use cheap kids watercolor palettes for some watercoloring, and it can be really fun. Corrugated cardboard boxes. When you get a parcel, these things are gold. You can turn them into albums, embellishments, you can die cut them. And the best bit, if you paint water over one side, or mist water over one side, and then you leave it for a little while, you can usually peel off most of the top layer, and so you get that really nice corrugated effect. And sometimes bits of the top layer will stick, so you get that kind of grungy, so it's a very Donna Salazar thing, like that girly grungy look, and it's very, very cool. And butcher's paper. This is another one that we get a lot of in our lives, especially when you go to the deli to buy different meats and things. And usually the top layer has nothing wrong with it. So use it in your crafting. Use it as background. Use it to ink and paint and stamp on. Just whatever. These are just a few of the things that I like to keep in my stash and that I have used and continue to use in crafting to this day. So I hope that was a bit of a help for the budget crafter, for anyone looking for some things that they may not have thought about, or, you know, just wanted some tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your budget crafting tips below and let me know what things you do to save money with your craft stash. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and remember that you are amazing, you're incredible, and you matter. Bye!